Hi, thank you so much for downloading my freebie template for the seamless carousel for Instagram. This one is in Adobe Express. So if you primarily use Adobe Express or if you want to try it out, this is a great way to do that. I will show you how it all works and troubleshoot any problems that you may have. But as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to DM me or send me an email, and I will try and help you through and make this work perfect for you. So, this is what it'll look like when you get it. Um, it is all just colored to show different sections here. We have a template in the back that when you bring it up front, you can give it a bit of opacity. And these lines are where it'll actually cut off on an Instagram post. So towards the end, if you want to make sure that it lines up properly and that your face isn't cut off in a weird way, if you have some photos like that, this is where you will do that. So for now, we'll just toss that to the back and we'll use that towards the end. So this background with the 5 colors going across is all separate pieces of a grid. So if you click into it and then click into a section of that grid, you're able to click over here and add content. So we will upload it, grab something from our computer and put it in there. And then if you need to move it around, you double click in there and you can move around with your mouse. Or if you want to make sure it stays in there in place, you can just kind of go up and down with the arrow keys. So we'll do that for each section here. We'll add our content, upload from device. And I'm just going to start by adding in all the photos that I want. I have this planned out ahead of time just so that I'm not fumbling around trying to get photos for you. But you can take your time with this step. You want to make sure it's exactly how you want it. And then my last photo over here. And then with these ones, which are the layered content that we have, you will up here under image, or even on here as well, sorry, hit replace, upload from device, and you will grab what you were wanting to place there. And oh, like I put the wrong one here. This one I wanted here, so you could just hit replace again. Super easy. And if you wanted to mess around and try and find ones that you wanted. Perfect. So I'm just going to, same thing, double click into this if you want to adjust it around. And then the way that this one is framed, you can pick a different shape over here if you wanted. So that's super easy. This one, I have the same square shape, but it is stretched to the sides to make it more of a rectangle with rounded sides. If you need to replace any of these ones in the background, you'll just click into it, hit delete on your keyboard, and then you will go through that same add content process. So once you're happy with the layout of these photos, you can bring this over top to see. If you weren't super happy with how things were lining up, you can go back into this template and you're able to move things around here. I have it set up pretty well, but it depends on your photos. You might have maybe something that's really important that you're kind of cutting off right in the middle here. So that is up to you. If you wanted to kind of customize it and add maybe some like branding icons, I would start by locking this all so that you can't mess around with it. And then you can drag and drop into here. So say I'm going to use this logo and I'm going to place it over my computer screen here like it's on there. I'll add a little bit of opacity so it kind of just looks like it's in the photo. And then maybe I will add a branded icon of mine over here. You can really add whatever you want. You could add more photos with some frames like this one. Whatever you were wanting to do. Then we will just go ahead and unlock everything that we had locked up. Then to end this before we are bringing it to chop up into pieces to export for Instagram, this is where this grid really comes in handy. So drag it all the way to the top and then select everything and group it just so it's easier to move around. So we will either right click and copy or Control C or Command C on a Mac. We will then go to view all pages. So the fun thing about Adobe Express over Canva is we don't have to start a new file because we're allowed to have different pages that are different sizes. So you will go into the second page that we will have set up for you here. So this is a typical 1080 by 1080 post for Instagram. So in here, you'll either right click paste or Control V to place it in. Also, better than Canva is it actually jumps to that size that we want. So it is already fixed up to the left side, and being able to put this template over top with a bit of opacity so we can see what we're doing through it is really fun. So this one should be all set up for you. I'm going to want you to go back to layers, click the three buttons and duplicate this page. You'll then grab all of this, and then it is, again, easier to use the arrow buttons because it's hard to kind of keep it level with your mouse. But you're welcome to do either. So I'm going to use Shift and the left arrow to make it go a little bit faster. And we're trying to make sure you should be able to see a little bit of green on either side with these lines. So if it's the Shift click is too many jumps, you can just do just the arrow clicks on their own. And you should be able to see, it should just be visible or just disappear on either sides. So then we will go back here, duplicate page, grab this, Shift arrow click it over until everything is just visible on either side. Duplicate it again, and in the end you should have 6 total pages on this document. It's 5 slides and then the full slide that we have all together. If you did have to change anything on the overall document, you would have to do these steps again. So, but it's a good way to check it out, and it doesn't take too long, so you should be able to go back, change things, and then redo these steps just to make it easier. If you were redoing them, the duplicating is the easiest, so I would just go through and delete these pages just to make it easier. Keep one square, delete everything on it, bring it over, and do these steps again. Now we are going to get rid of this layer on top, so you can just go to each page, click into the group, delete that overlayer, and then you can use these arrows to just go between pages. So click in here, into the group, delete it, and do that on all of them. And then you can see them all. If you wanted to move something like this icon, I would just ungroup it. And because this icon isn't on any of the other pages, you could move this freely and it won't affect the overall seamless scroll. And so you don't have to redo all these steps to copy and paste everything over. But if you wanted to do something like this image where it is clearly on both pages, as well as these back images that are very much on both pages, what I would suggest, if you weren't doing anything too crazy and just wanted to tweak it a little bit, you could move it around with the arrow keys or Shift arrow to do like larger jumps around. I would just very meticulously count exactly what you were doing. So If I needed to adjust this up because I didn't like the way it was pairing up with some other element on the page, I would hold shift and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks up. And then I would have to go to this page, grab that same image. So I'll ungroup this, grab that image, and I will shift click 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're guaranteed that those are going to line up as long as you're making sure if you're doing just quick arrow clicks with no shift, they're shorter movements. So you want to count those separately. But yeah, just be careful about making sure you're counting those because it is a work smarter, not harder trick to do that instead of having to go into here, make those adjustments, copy paste, duplicate pages. Like it's a lot more work. So if you're just doing some fine tweaks and you just want to do them within these separate pages, that is how I do that. And then when you are all ready to put this onto Instagram to download it, I will click just these Instagram pages. This one was just the template and you won't need to download this. So then we will go to download, selected pages, PNGs works, and then you will click download. That will get you your 5 images. And then I will show you how to put them onto Instagram after this. So this is an example of what it'll look like when you upload it to Instagram. So you'll want to save it to your phone. You'll have, preferably, I would try and save them in order so that it's a little bit easier. I have sometimes saved it not in order, and then it's a little bit hard to remember what order it's supposed to be in. So you will select the first one. This is them all right there. So select the first one and you will hit like a multi-post here and then click them in the order you would like them. And then hit next. And once you continue through all this, you can check that you have them roughly in the right order, but at this spacing, it's a little bit hard to tell how they're lined up. You get a good idea, and it would be super obvious if they weren't lined up here. Then you'll hit next, and after you do everything, you can scroll through them like this and make sure that you can see where it kind of starts and ends and make sure it all looks how you want it to. Now I did, after filming this on my phone, I obviously, like I said, I like this first one to just be a standalone, but it's kind of boring that it just stops there. So I did pull it a little bit into this one since then. As you guys saw me build it there, that's how it was. So yeah, you can check here that it all works to your liking, and you can always start over and readjust things. But it is a little bit of a process, but I think it's definitely worth it. It's a pretty cool post. It's unique and shows a little bit more fun and artsy and design style, whether you're just sharing photos, you're sharing your new branding, you're sharing a new product, or anything of the sort. It is a really fun post to throw a lot of photos in there. I know you can now do 20 photo carousels, but this is a more unique way to do it, especially using your horizontal images that kind of expand past that square. But yeah, that is how you do that. If you have any questions, please reach out and feel free to contact me so we can work through them. And if you wanted a custom template made for you that is set up how you want it, reach out to me and we can work on that. Thanks, guys. Bye.